I'm Judy.
Hi, I'm Carol.
And hello, I am Peggy.
And we are the Wildflowers. Welcome, everybody.
Nice to see you all again.
Yes, very nice. Today we're going to be talking about words, but first...
Well, we're going to be talking about wine and what's been going on with you guys.
Well, it looks like we're going to have a rainstorm any minute. It's so dark in here. I feel like everything is so dark all of a sudden.
It is dark.
It's summer, so summer on Long Island.
Towards the end of the summer. And you know what? It's the school has been starting so early. So we're right now in the throes of back to school already. And I just feel like the school is starting earlier every year. How about your grandkids? Did they start early this year?
No, they start after Labor Day.
Yeah.
You know, that's usually when they do start, so.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, but some kids in other states,
No.
they start in August.
Right.
And,
Well, in New York, at least, it was always an after Labor Day thing.
Yes,
But not
yes.
not the past few years where I live. I mean, the girls went to school.
You're right. Last
already.
year too, they went to school like one day, I think, before Labor Day, and then they were off the
Music
weekend.
is so
Yes,
bad.
I know.
So-
Sorry, I'm not again this damn music.
She's our music person, and I guess she likes.
I guess I can't do it well. Damn it.
Well, that's fun.
Really, it's not a hard job, Judy.
I'm warm,
Okay.
you know.
No,
it's
that's
just
totally
not
cool.
like we need a sound guy.
Now, are we supposed to be drinking wine?
Well,
or-
we will, but one thing I did want to say is I wanted to give a shout out because somebody did comment. They sent me a text. They watched our podcast about what is our idea of a perfect day. Why are you laughing? So, and it was actually my neighbor, and it was the first time I had her come over to my house, and we had a family gathering and that kind of thing. And she watched the podcast and she enjoyed it, and she sent me a text and she said that her idea of a perfect day was spending time with me and my family, that she had such a good time.
Is she a new neighbor?
She doesn't
know her very well.
She's actually an animal lover, as am I, and so we have that in
What's her
common.
first name?
Her name is Jerry.
Jerry.
Yep. And
All right, thank you,
she's
Jerry.
lovely.
Thank you, Jerry.
Yes, Jerry, we appreciate it. But yes, I guess we'll move on to the wine.
Well, it's not a hard move. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
All right, so I have the wine today, but I have to admit I did not pick the wine. So my husband was stopping off to buy the wine, and I asked him to pick up a surprise wine to talk about today on the podcast. So he came home with this wine. It is called, I don't know how to pronounce it, Oko or
Oko.
Okeo.
I would say Oko was the...
It has
Of
those
the dots.
2 dots on top.
Right.
And it is an organic wine. It says right here, wine made with organic grapes. This is a Cabernet Sauvignon.
Oh, another
Okay.
cab. Okay.
Yes, and another organic wine. I usually drink Bonterra, which is an organic wine, and so I think that's why he got me this.
Okay. Well, thank you,
And
Niall.
Yes, so if we don't like it,
Sorry.
that's his fault. This, but I did. Yeah, I looked it up before talking about it today. They source their organic grapes from certified organic farms that so it's not their own grapes, but they I guess collect them or buy them from other wineries that do grow organic grapes. And the price point for this wine is anywhere from about $11.99 to $12-13.99. So not a bad wine price.
Yeah.
So Peggy, why don't you pour your bring in case I can pour.
Oh, that's a nice sound. Thank
Ah.
you.
That's a nice sound.
I like that clunk, clunk, clunk.
Oh, she
when it
likes
does
the
it.
clunk, clunk, clunk.
She hears it a lot.
It's a sound that warms her heart.
Yes. It's like the Pavlov's bell.
Come on.
No, it's cute.
Okay, so I'm gonna move this here. Let's toast to us.
To us.
Or anyone have something special to toast
To my kids getting home from vacation tomorrow
Excellent.
safely after a long drive
And to
back.
Labor Day.
to?
And Labor Day, yeah, I'm going away.
Yeah, so there.
Excellent. All right, here we are. Oh, I like that.
Oh, this is nice.
This
Yes.
is very nice.
I
Good
really
job,
like it.
Niall.
Yeah.
Thank
Smooth. Very
This is
smooth.
very
Ooh.
good.
you.
And
What's that taste?
Yeah, what grapes are in
Did you
here?
look it up?
Other than
Oh,
Oh, she doesn't have it.
I don't have my glasses, and
Oh,
it's
wait,
so
wait,
dark
here,
in here.
here.
You'll have to read it.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Oh, I
So
like that.
You know, I did pull it up on
even
my
with
phone,
my
too.
glasses, wait.
Let's see. All right, here. Oh, no. Here, I'll read it. Vibrant with lush-driven aromas and flavors, typical of the region of violets, cassis, blackberries, and red raspberries, exemplify the pedigree of the vineyard. Medium-bodied, ripe with soft, silky tannins and enticing fruity nose with a finish that is pure and balanced. Made from organically grown grapes. And this is, region is Languedoc in France.
Oh, oui, oui.
Right,
Probably did not say that. Oh,
Does it-
it's varietals. I'm sorry, Peggy. 80% Cabernet, 10% Merlot.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Does it tell you how to pronounce it?
No.
Oh.
But it says, as
Yeah.
the soft tannins linger, so will your
This is good.
appreciation for Oko.
Yeah, this is very good.
It's very
actually.
good. So
I
we
really
like this.
Yes.
Yeah, I like
Good
this
job.
one. Good job.
Woo!
Good job. Thank you, Niall.
Thank you.
Yes, very
She's
nice.
the best. Thank you.
Nice. I'm gonna remember this one.
Yeah, this is a good one.
It's easy. It's easy. Oko.
Yes, definitely.
What, Carol? You're the writer. What is this symbol on top of
Don't
it?
ask me
I
that.
know the straight
Yes,
line would
did.
mean that it was the hard sound of O, but with
Right.
the dots, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe is it from France?
It
Maybe
is,
in
right.
French it means something.
If anyone
You
out there
speak
knows,
French, right?
if anyone, I used to, no, not really.
Only
I'll-
voulez-vous coucher?
Yeah. You shouldn't have said.
Je ne sais quoi.
Yeah. Anyway, if anyone out there knows what those little dots mean, please let us know. You can let us know in comments on YouTube or on our Facebook page, Wildflowers. So there we have it. So it's my turn to talk about a book. I don't know why I said it like that.
I don't know why.
Maybe it's the
either.
wine that has me all excited. But the books, I'm sharing books today. The book that I'm sharing, though, the major one, is from a very good friend of mine, and I helped him with this book. I edited it. And you see how he was stubborn. He wanted everything in it, and I told him he was not going to find a publisher for it because it was too long. He proved me wrong. He found one. And I love the title. It's called Your Mother's Not a Virgin. And it's the bumpy life and times of the Canadian dropout who changed the face of American TV, and that's John Barber, who became a very good friend of mine. And the first half of the book is about his childhood, and he had such a messed up childhood. His mother was horrible. She was an alcoholic, and he pretty much raised himself from the age of 6 years old.
Oh my goodness.
He really did. And what he could do with his life, what he did, is just astounding. The last portion of the book is how he made it in America and his dreams to get into television. He created the show, The Gong Show, Real
I used to
People,
love that
Yes.
show.
Real People, and he was, sorry John, I'm going to say it, you were stubborn, and you were very, very, it was very important to him to do the kind of program that he felt was important. He went on to make documentaries about JFK's assassination, and it's fascinating stuff. And so it's called Your Mother's Not a Virgin. It's so entertaining. It's such an entertaining book. I had a heck of a time writing it because I was laughing out loud, and sometimes I was shaking my head like, wow, how did he manage to overcome? He got deported twice from the United States back to Canada, but he managed, and he lives in Vegas now. And I love John, and I miss him because we haven't been able to communicate in a while. But he also had me work with him on this book. John Barber, The Wittiest Man in America, is a Canadian. So that was this other one.
That's funny.
And he is witty, he very much. And then he had an idea, because he wrote movie reviews in the 70s and 80s for LA Times.
Okay.
And his reviews are just hysterical. And his idea was, well, he says it was my idea, but John, it was really your idea, but I love the idea of putting them in the book, but also me leading in each description of the movies what I was doing in my life at that time. And so, you know, like we talked about Jesus Christ Superstar. That was one of the movies that actually went with my mom, which was crazy. and Lilies of the Field. That was the first movie. That was the very, very first movie that we went to when I remember as a kid, and he reviewed that too. And so it's very entertaining. It's called The Greatest Reviews I've Ever Read. But I worked with John, and he also does a show called Talking Movies. And he's already had some pretty impressive guests, including me, on his show. But he had Mike Farrell, and if you don't know,
Nash.
yeah, there you
Oh,
go.
yeah,
Mike
great
Farrell,
show.
I believe was his first guest. And then he had Eddie Muller, was from Turner Classic Movies.
Oh, yeah, I love Eddie Muller.
Right. And what's really crazy is a week before Ed Asner died, he had Ed on his show.
Oh, wow.
And he interviewed Ed, which is fascinating. And he, it sounds horrible, but he also interviewed Meatloaf, and Meatloaf died about a month later.
Wow, maybe he's bad luck.
I knew you were going to say that. No, I was not going to let you get away with that.
John, don't ever interview Carol.
Twice.
How long ago? How long do you have?
No, but Meatloaf was supposed to go on for the second time
I
because
love
it was a shame. Dee Wallace he interviewed, and he also interviewed Kevin Getz. Now Kevin wrote a book called Audienceology: How Moviegoers Shape the Films We Love. And Kevin was at the event that we were at in Hollywood in December. He also was there promoting his book, and there was a lot of celebrities, I use quote unquote, because they aren't, Bieber, the kid from Leave It to Beaver, he was there, and
I thought you said Bieber.
No, Leave It to Beaver,
Okay.
and different, Tim Conway's daughter was there promoting her book,
Okay.
and so it was a nice collection of people, but Kevin was there. And
Jerry Mathers? Is
Yes,
that who
Jerry
you're
Yes,
Mathers.
Jerry Mathers.
Yes. So then, but Kevin also just started a podcast, and I wanted to give a shout out to that. So the podcast is called Don't Kill the Messenger. And it's all about how, movies are made and how they're researched, and they get audiences to come in and weigh in on, does this work as a movie? Should the ending be different? So again, that's Kevin Getz, and it's called Don't Kill the Messenger. And John Barber, if you could catch him on his show, it's so interesting. But Your Mother's Not a Virgin is very, very entertaining, and it's just a fun, quick read. Believe it or not, it is a quick read. So there you have it. I had a good time working with John.
Excellent.
Thank you.
And I've seen the interview you've done with John,
Okay.
and we've seen it on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
I've caught it on that, and
Right.
we watched it with my daughters.
Oh,
And they enjoyed it. My daughters are younger, so they always
Yeah.
have, but they could tell how eager and how fond you were of John, by
Yes.
watching
Yes.
That. So that came across very well.
right. Yeah. John contacted me through a friend because he was looking for someone to work with him to promote his the documentary, The Second Assassination of John F. Kennedy, and that's how we became friends. And the documentary is just fascinating, and it leaves you to wonder just really who was responsible for JFK's murder. So there you have it. So that's
Alrighty
that's
then.
my
Well, thank you very much.
well. I
It's
guess
a lot of books, so it's really 3 books, but no, you covered them really well. So.
what.
You did.
Yeah,
It
you
was
did.
a speed review.
Yeah, well, it was a lot to say, but in a short time. So
Cool.
there you have
Alright.
it. So I guess we'll take a little bit of a break,
Okay.
and then we will get back. And what is going to be our topic, Miss Peggy?
Words. We're going to talk about words today.
And words
So-
are all I
Excellent.
have.
Can I put the music on now?
Yes,
Yes, you can. I'll go turn off the camera.
Okay, awesome. Well, I guess I could put these away right now.
No. What was his? We're back. Let's go, girls.
Yes, indeed. Here we are once again.
And better than before.
Oh, let's go. Let's
That's right.
go.
We strive to get better each podcast.
What do we do during
So.
these breaks? You could only know.
Notice how the level of the wine has gone
This is
down.
a really good wine.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about words. So I have a little name tag for everybody. So I want you guys to figure out who you are.
Okay, all right, we got to read these for our
You read them.
Uh-huh.
all right. El, you're a file?
Ilorophile.
Alorophile.
Ornithophile.
Okay.
Ornithrophile.
Or a logophile.
Or logophile.
Logophile. Okay, and
So-
so one of and you're one of them too.
I'm one of them too.
I'm this one.
Yeah, she's definitely that one.
And which one are you?
I'm gonna say logophile.
Logophile.
How do I say this one
Okay.
again?
Okay. And that's ornithophile?
Ornithophile.
All right. Oh, and this is ilorophile. So I'm going to tell you, you are the ilorophile. I am the. You picked the correct
Oh,
one.
okay.
I am the ornithophile.
Oh my gosh.
So an ilorophile. What do you think that is?
I'm alluring.
You know, a lawyer?
Nope.
I don't know what that is. I thought
Why
I
don't you
would
turn
be
the
this.
music off? You're the person who never turns off the music.
I like this music.
Over and over and over.
Now you're kicking on me.
Okay, so what do you think you are? Why did I give that to you? Logophile. So, you know, like, look at
Because
the
of
end of the
books.
word.
Right, well, yeah.
It's a lover of.
Right. Writing.
Alorophile.
Books. Writing.
Close.
Words.
Words. A lover of words.
Oh, okay.
So you are ilorophile.
A lover of
Animals.
animals.
Which animal?
Dogs.
Which other one?
Chickens.
Oh, chickens.
One more.
Donkeys.
Cats. Cats.
Okay.
A lover of cats. Among other things. I know that you love. And
Because
this
we've
is
been
the
here a
bird,
long
like
time.
ornithology.
That's what I knew that one. That's why I thought.
So
that was
anyway, you have to wear it.
Okay.
We have to wear
You
them?
have to wear it. I
I
have
will
to
wear
wear a little label.
I love
Well,
it.
All right. So this is the
Okay.
fun part of the podcast.
I love it. Well
I
done,
know,
Peggy.
I
See,
know.
I'm all
Remember
prepared.
when
Yeah.
we said Peggy was bossy?
I'm not bossy.
Oh.
I just get bossed around by both of them.
Okay, so now we're gonna do a little test. I saw this. I subscribe to dictionary.com.
Yes.
I love it. I get the word of the day every day, and if you go on their website, they have all kinds of quizzes about grammar and spelling and meanings. And I saw the other day they had this little video with obviously there were staff members of dictionary.com,
Okay.
and they had to try and pronounce very hard to pronounce words, and it was so funny. I wish that I could add it to the podcast somehow.
Yeah.
It was really a lot of fun.
Do we have enough wine for
This was one of the words right here. If you guys could see
can't
that,
see- I
I'm going to show it to you.
Right, okay.
All right, and now you see it. And
Okay.
all right, Judy, you pronounce that word.
Borborgimus.
That's not.
Borbigmus. Borbigmus.
Okay, Carol.
Borborygmus. I figured if I hurried up and said.
Try it again.
Okay. Borborwigamus.
Borborygmus.
Borborigamus.
Bor-
Borborigamus.
Close.
Oh.
Borborygmus.
Oh, okay.
In one of the
Borborygmus.
pronunciations, they did say Borborygmus. That was
Ah.
in another website.
Okay.
But on this one, it's Borborygmus.
And what does it
And
mean?
now, what do you think it means? Borborygmus.
A monogamous boar.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's really close.
I like what she said.
Yes, that's good. We should play Babel someday.
Yeah, exactly. So what does it mean?
It is the sound that your intestines make when they're rumbling.
I do that all the time.
Yeah, so that means
Wow.
then it's Borborygmus.
You know, when in nursing school, I'm not a nurse, but I was in nursing school, they used to use me all the time for the students to listen to my.
Oh, really?
Really? I guess I was
Because you're very
Borborygmus.
Borborygmus.
Now I
Yeah,
know.
okay.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, so let's see. Hang on a second, I have to remember how to. Okay, this word. SYZYGY.
You take. I started first last time. You do it.
Okay. Suzuki.
You got it?
Yes,
See?
very good. Did you look at my notes?
No, not at all.
Do you know what it means?
Energy of some sort. It's like synergy, but you,
No.
you throw a Z in there.
Syzygy is I just keep hearing that song. Like, let's get jiggy. See, is it a type of dance, cultural dance?
No, it isn't. It is actually the alignment of three celestial objects.
That would have been my next guess.
I'm surprised that you didn't get it.
Any three or just some
celestial has
And
no
it's
any three. Yeah,
okay.
so it's an astrology
All
term.
right, this is fun. What
So
else you got?
okay,
Drinking.
so all right, this word here. Everybody see? MACADAMIZE.
Macadamias.
Macadam. Wait, I had it and then you said that. Macadamized.
You know why? Because I used the wrong card. This is the one that you're supposed to look at.
Macadamized.
I know, because I put all the symbols on it.
Oh, I didn't even see
So
the
I
symbols.
remember how
I
to
didn't see
pronounce
the
it.
symbols.
Alright, so what does it mean?
Macadamize. You pave the road with macadamize it.
Macadamize.
Did you look at my friggin' notes?
No, I did not.
That's what it means.
What?
I swear I didn't.
What?
I do not
How did
believe
you get
you.
that? What does
You
it say?
are a
What?
little cheater.
I am not.
Cheater.
There's
Carol
no way.
is a
There's no way you
cheater.
know what that
No,
word is.
It's paved with broken stone. That's what they
What?
used to
No.
pave the roads.
All right, can I
Oh,
tell
your
you?
dad worked for the
Thank
DOT.
you. Thank you.
Oh,
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
okay.
Yes, and that
Well,
reminded
good
me.
for you, Mrs. Smarty Pants.
But I didn't think I'd be right.
Oh, well, you better not look at my thing.
You better hide that book.
Oh my
She's-
God, I
okay.
am not looking.
Okay.
I'm gonna put her glasses over
Let's
here.
go, Smarty Pants.
Yeah, you do that.
Oh,
one.
yes, Schadenfreude. Yeah, I did. I should
Pronounce it.
IT it. No, Schadenfreude.
Wrong.
Is that it?
No.
Schadenfreude.
No.
Schadenfreude.
No.
She so wants me to be wrong. But
Schadenfreude.
I know what that meant. I used to know what it meant. I really
It's a
did.
great
Nobody
definition.
knows
I
what
freaking
this
love
is.
Yes,
it.
no, I
Nobody
did.
knows this.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
anyway, it's pronounced. I never showed it to you guys.
Schadenfreude.
No.
Schadenfreude. Wow.
Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude. And it is the feeling, the happy feeling that you get when somebody else. Here, I'm going to read it. Pleasure felt at someone else's misfortune.
Yes.
So, like, if we saw Donald Trump being let out and handcuffed,
I'd be Schadenfreude.
That's right. Be
all over the
Schadenfreuding
place.
all over the place. That's true.
We would be. Yeah.
We'd have a lot of Schadenfreude.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so now, how about this word?
Oh, I know that word.
And
Yeah,
UI.
I know.
NUI.
No.
NUI. I don't know this
Yeah.
word.
Ennui.
Ennui.
Ennui. This is
Ennui. That's how you say ennui.
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 Oh,
This is my
good.
favorite word.
Okay.
This has always been my favorite word for years and years. When I was a teenager, I read it in a book, and I didn't know how to pronounce it, ennui, or I
Right.
had no idea. And I looked it up, and do you know what it means, ennui?
When you're like sort of like logy and it's sort of a
Logie. Look at that word. That's a good one too.
ennui. Oh, I didn't know it. It's,
Weariness.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a weariness of the world.
I didn't
Right,
know that's
right.
how you spelled ennui.
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
that.
now you know it.
Now I
So,
do.
but
it's
anyway,
it's not,
this
it
is,
doesn't mean when you sit on pee.
No,
Because
ennui.
you're
No.
not ennui.
Carol, that was awful. That was awful. I'm
What?
so sorry that you had to
anyway,
hear that.
yes, I know, really. So anyway, ennui is not sitting on pee. It's weariness of the world, a feeling of utter weariness and discontent resulting from satiety or lack of interest and boredom.
Right.
So really weariness of
You
the
were
world.
very kind of
So.
depressed teenager, huh?
No, I just the normal
That
teenage
normal.
angst,
Oh, right,
but
right.
I just found that word. I always love that word. It's one of my favorite words. And now borborygmus is my second. I love it, even though
But
it's
the
very
thing is-
difficult to say.
I was just saying it's difficult to use in a sentence.
I know, that's what, and I tried to actually Google that. I know what it is,
Right.
but it's like you can't Google how to use it. Well, I'm
Oh,
feeling
yes.
a little
Borborygmus.
borborygmus today,
Yeah.
because there's also borborygmy.
Come closer.
So,
Listen to my
but anyway,
Borborygmy.
do you have a favorite word?
I have several that I've written down, and it was very difficult to do. Like onomatopoeia is one of them.
Oh, okay, I love that too.
Yeah,
And it's,
and I have cacophony,
okay, alrighty.
platypus,
Mm-hmm.
noisome. Does anyone know what noisome means?
It's you're such a noisome person.
No, no.
I don't.
Noisome, and then olfactory, and I always say.
Oh, that's smelling.
Yeah.
Right, right. So noisome means bothersome. Like,
Oh, okay.
yes, so that, and this one is from Miranda Hart. I love Miranda Hart. She's an actress,
Mhm.
and she had the show up from, came out of Canada or Britain, I forget. But anyway, she always said moist plinth, and that just always made me laugh. So, yeah, those are some of my
A
favorite
lot of
words.
people don't like the word moist.
I know.
Why?
I don't know.
I-
It's
There
a
is
a
good
very-
starter
it gives
for
a
a Wordle.
visceral-
Moist.
it
I
gives a
used it the
visceral-
other day.
Yes.
You'll get a lot of
Yeah.
mean looks. Some people
Yeah.
really
Why?
dislike. There's some, that's the interesting thing with words. There's some words that can really incite
Trigger.
a visceral
Like
reaction.
Yeah.
a moist cake. They like dry cake. I don't know.
Or no, they just don't like saying the word
Moist.
moist. I worked with a woman. I won't say her name because I don't want to embarrass her. But not that it's embarrassing, but I don't. It's just that was a word she didn't like using. She was like, "Ew."
See, I don't like the word belly. It
Oh.
bothers me
See, it's
when
similar.
somebody says belly. I say, oh God, don't say belly.
And that was on the password the other night.
Yeah.
Would you say it if you were on the past?
Of course I would. It isn't that I wouldn't say it. It's I listen to this little 1-minute meditation thing on WNYC NPR every day, and she always refers to the woman doing the meditation. Relax your belly. And I would say, oh, don't say belly. I just don't like it. But what's your favorite word?
Yeah, my favorite also starts with an E, and it's been my favorite word for a
I know
long
what it
time.
is.
You know what it is. I've said it.
Oh, that's right. I
Is
know what it is.
empathy, and empathy means putting yourself in somebody else's place. And
Right.
I just want the story about it real quick. The reason why I love this is I used to do volunteer work for child abuse prevention services, and part of that work was where we would go into 2nd and 3rd grade classrooms, and we would teach children about bullying. I would go all the way up to the high school, and we would modify what we talked about depending on the age. But bullying was for the younger grades, and we would always start by teaching the children about empathy. And I would write this word on the board, and usually nobody would know what that meant at that age. And so I
Yeah.
would teach them. And I remember always I had my spiel, and I would say, this is my favorite word. I said, please remember this word. I said, if I ever meet any one of you ever again, I said, I'm going to ask you what my favorite word is. And it just became our thing, and I've been in so many classrooms. And one day, working in Borders in Farmingdale, I was doing story time, which was loved doing stories,
Yeah.
and that was one of the best perks of that job.
Yeah.
And we it was so popular. And afterwards, this boy who was now probably about 5th or 6th grade then would come up to me. He was there with his little brother or sister, and said, "I remember you. You came into my class." And he's like, "When I was in 3rd grade," and I said, "Oh yeah." He goes, "Do you remember me?" And I said, "Yes." And he goes, I said, "Do you remember my favorite word?" And he said, "It's empathy."
Oh, wow.
And I said, "And what does empathy mean?" And he says, "It means putting yourself in somebody else's place." And I just love. You can't go wrong if you know that word.
No, that's a great word.
And we need more of that today.
Yes,
I love that
oh
word.
my goodness, we certainly do.
What about you, Peg?
Well, this
Oh,
was
that's
my
it.
favorite word,
That's
but
right.
now I have the longest word in the English language, according to reputable dictionaries. So there's other ones that they sneer at, I guess. It has 45 letters.
Wow, let's show.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, is that it?
No.
Uh,
It is pneumano ultra microscopic silicovolcanoconiosis.
Oh, carniosis.
Coniosis, and it's what happens to you when you inhale granite dust.
And then your stomach does this.
Yes. Or maybe your lungs do it.
Yeah.
You know,
You
that
get that
is-
after you macadamize.
exactly. That's
Wow.
right. They're all connected. And let's see. And this was a word that I always pronounced it wrong, and I didn't write it down. Haute.
Hot.
Yeah.
Haute.
Oat.
Hope.
You don't even pronounce the H. It's oat.
Oh, I
Oat. I always used to say hot.
Me too. I just said hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
Okay.
oat.
Haute. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know if this is true, but I think it is. What is the longest word you can type on a keyboard with one hand?
Oh, I used to know
Oh, I
that.
don't know. I was
I
a
used to-
terrible
what is it?
typist.
I'm not sure, but I think it is stewardesses.
All right.
Oh, yeah, because you have to use the S.
Oh.
Oh, that's interesting. With one hand.
With one hand, so you have it, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then, remember I was reading that letter before
Yes.
that you wrote, and I said, I'm going to bring it up at the podcast because you started the sentence with first.
But it should be firstly.
Well, firstly wasn't always considered like a
Right.
real word, but
Right.
now it's a non-standard word.
Right.
Firstly and funner. Like
Oh,
instead of
wow,
saying
I
more
don't like
fun,
funner.
you can say funner. I think funner is a funner word than more fun.
Fun.
I
But
kind of
I
like
bet
it.
you people would correct you.
Yes.
I have a feeling. Oh,
Yes.
funner. No, you mean more fun.
More
I
fun.
know somebody. I won't say who. This person would correct me. Not either
Yeah,
of you.
yeah.
But somebody I know, and I'd be like, no. It can
Yeah,
be
well,
funner.
it's acceptable now. It
Right.
wasn't always
Right.
acceptable.
Right, it wasn't acceptable.
And conversate.
Yes.
You know, that from people using it, they now is very acceptable. So this is another one of the longest words in the English language.
Wow.
It's the estimation of something as valueless.
Oh.
Phylloxynopilification. And there is the longest word in the world. Takes 3.5 hours to pronounce, and it's got 189,000 some odd letters in it.
That's just stupid.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I just said, no, I had enough with the long words. Yeah.
What made you want to choose this topic, Peg? What the
Well, because I do a lot of word things. Like I like dictionary.com. I do that every day. I do quizzes on that. I do Wordle.
Yeah.
But my favorite is Spelling Bee in the New York Times. I love doing the Spelling Bee. And many times, like today, there was a word in the Spelling Bee that I didn't even know was a word. And that happens to me many times. I say,
Right.
oh my God, I never even heard of that word.
Mhm.
And the word was coulee.
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 Mhm.
And it's a deep ravine
Mhm.
or lava flow. And I said, I never heard of, I heard of coulee as,
Your bum.
oh yeah, your bum, or
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
coolie in China, they used to pull the
But it's spelled
rickshaws.
differently,
Yeah, this is spelt a little bit differently, so.
Well, when I started reading the New Yorker, because I had a professor who encouraged us to get the New Yorker, and it was so great. I had a binder of all the words I came across, and this is before the internet, so I would have to have the dictionary
Right.
next to me, and I would quiz myself. And it's interesting because I wrote in my notes, because I knew that this was going to be our topic, and I said, as a writer, we must be spot on, and as an editor, it's easy to see when a writer is trying too hard to impress. And writers must remember that they shouldn't be seen in their works of fiction.
Right.
Like sometimes, I see, I work with a lot of new writers or whatever, and I see that they're trying to impress me with their, with certain words, and I'm
Right.
like, you're pulling it away from the story.
Right.
Sometimes it's better to be, just step back and would your character really say that, that kind of thing. So words are very important. So I was so excited by this subject.
Well, I have a quote that I'm going to read to you from A.A. Milne, which
Okay.
pertains to that very fact.
Oh, well, I didn't know she was going to do this.
No. It is more fun to talk with someone who doesn't use long, difficult words, but rather short, easy words like, what about lunch?
Yes, we like that.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah, sometimes the use of those long, unusual, difficult words can be pretentious, and
Yes.
I know some people are very educated,
Mhm.
and to them using those words is natural. So I don't judge people.
Right, right.
But a lot of times I know a word that I could use instead of the simpler one, but I won't say it because I said, oh, I don't want everybody to think I'm being a jerk,
I
you
think
know?
I told you the story, like I was talking to somebody years ago, and we had just come back from the movie, and they go, how was it? I said, it was somewhat contrived. And then, ooh, contrived. And
Yeah,
I'm
well,
like,
that's,
contrived?
yeah, I know, that's not even like
Like,
one of those
You're,
fancy
you're a
words.
dumb fuck. Just say.
No, it wasn't me.
And along this line, though, it's not just the type of words that we use, but the amount of words. It's similar to this AAM. I mean, I do a lot of legal writing, and what I try to train myself to do is to go through, like even an email, just something an email, say, what words don't need to be here?
Right.
And I'll go through a sentence, and more often than not, I can cut down a sentence from, 10, 15 words down to like 7. If
Right,
you really
right.
think about it. And,
Yeah.
and you get your same message across. You just don't need all the superfluous
I have a
words.
quote for that too. This is so
I'm sure you do.
serendipitous. I'm not kidding. So
I like that word, serendipitous.
Yeah.
the
Yep.
secret of being boring is to say everything.
Mhm.
Oh,
That
I
is
like
so
that.
true.
Yeah,
That's,
I know some people like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need a little mystery
Yeah.
as well.
That's very cool. Well, I also wrote, sometimes words are so funny because, like, all right, read this word. What's that word?
Slaughter.
Slaughter, right? What's
Yeah.
this word?
Laughter. I know, it's the English
The
language.
English,
It's-
and it's just so funny.
Yeah,
And then
I
I
know.
also think texting. I'm sorry, my little tag is falling out.
Slaughter.
Texting is ruining words. I still am anal about when I text. I can't cut down, or I just have to spell out the whole word.
Yeah, I know.
It makes
yeah.
me
Do
crazy.
you use punctuation?
I try to, but sometimes
I get
In
I
a
get-
text, you mean?
I get in a text.
Yeah.
I get
Thank
laughed
you.
at by my children when
Yeah.
I use punctuation.
Oh no, okay.
You twisted her
Yeah.
arm.
But
Yeah.
no, it's very good. But and also lyrics. I think like there's just we could do 2 parts on this because I just think there's some musicians that the words like Joni Mitchell. I
Oh my
mean,
gosh,
my
no.
God,
No
there's
comparison.
no Jackson Brown, Van Morrison. Just you listen to the words. I love a good song where you can bop to it, dance, and I don't care what the words are. But some of them with the it's just amazing. It's just.
Yeah.
How do you think we are with the camera?
I don't know. I think we're good. I didn't hear it shut off, so.
Oh.
So I think we're good.
we
But I have another, because words can be very harmful. We all know
Yes,
that. And,
yeah.
like, I remember, I don't know whether it was my mom or what, somebody said to me once years ago when I was, like an older teenager, or I read it somewhere and it said, make sure your brain is in gear before you make sure your brain is engaged before putting your mouth in gear.
Oh, I like
Because
that.
words can be very, very hurtful.
Absolutely.
And one of the quotes that I found today, it was actually by Longfellow. It was, a torn jacket is soon mended, but hard words bruise the heart of a child.
Yes.
And one kind word can change someone's entire day, which was an anonymous one.
Yeah.
So, harsh words are, and we all grew up and, like sometimes there were harsh words either by your parents
Mhm.
or,
Yeah.
not so much mine. My dad used words a lot. He was a very, very intelligent man, and he had this vocabulary that was exceptional. And we were always so amused by it because my dad bellowed. He had a big, deep, bellowing voice, and he had 10 children.
He
And
had
like
to
we were
bellow.
all close in age, and it wasn't in anger,
Right.
but like when there was chaos in the house, sometimes there was like he would bellow out, "Idiocy is rampant," and then we would just laugh. But we knew like, hey, like you better, let's calm down a little bit, or
Right.
boobacity is rife,
I
and
love that. That's so
he,
cool.
told us like, stop eating like a peasant, so.
Oh my gosh,
So we
I love
grew
that.
up with a lot of words. We learned from my dad just being my dad,
Right.
so.
Right.
But we had the benefit of a very smart man, so.
And I'm sure it paid off all, and it was
Yeah.
people that I
Yeah.
did that with my girls. I mean, I love poetry, and I since they were babies. I read
Right.
poetry to them,
I
and,
love
and we would
that.
do that constantly. I would wake them up in the mornings, when a snowstorm, open up the window, the snow began
Yeah.
with gloaming,
Aw.
and to this day, if it's a snowstorm, they hear them, the snow
Yeah.
began with gloaming.
Yeah.
You just learn that.
And my mom loved
have
to
to.
memorize poetry.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
So she would, I don't know why schools don't teach poetry anymore. It was very, and it's, she loved it.
I think they should.
They did when I was in school. We
They
always
have a
had the
s-
class
They do
poem
it in
and the
April
class
now,
proverb.
like a couple of
you know.
a week, maybe.
Yeah. We had like in the earlier grades, like a birdie with a yellow bill hopped upon my windowsill, cocked his
Yes.
shining eye and said, "Ain't you ashamed, you sleepyhead?" But the nuns made us say, "Aren't you ashamed?"
No,
That
that's
was
so
by
funny.
Robert Louis
Stevenson.
Stevenson.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that brings up an interesting point with when we're talking about the schools. A lot of it is getting lost at the wayside now
Yeah.
too. So they're not being taught the poetry. They're not being taught cursive writing anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything is typing, and a
Yeah.
lot of it is texting too. I mean, I've had
Yeah.
some of the teachers, assign things on their phones, like to do, which
Yeah.
is very weird. And so it brings to
The world
mind
is changing.
the world is changing, but that will mean how we use words change, because you interviewed Maureen, and I think it was, she had said something interesting. Her favorite word was thunder.
Uh-huh.
And one thing she said, which I thought was really interesting about that, was she liked the way it looked when she wrote it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like that. One of my
Yeah.
daughters, I talked about it, one of the words she liked was bubbles, and she liked the meaning of it, but she also liked the way it looked when you write it.
Yeah.
And if we're not teaching cursive writing
Right.
anymore, are we going to lose that
Yeah.
sense of enjoyment as well?
Yeah. No, I love that she said that.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
just gonna go check the camera,
Oh,
okay? You guys continue.
Because
Well,
Carol
Don't say anything
made
about
a
me.
boss about it. A boss move.
all of a sudden end.
Okay, all right, so we have like 1 minute left.
That's what
Okay.
I thought.
Okay.
All right. Well,
All right.
do you have favorite words? Please let us know. We would love to hear what they are. We love this subject. And the next topic is going to be comfort zones, getting out of your comfort zone.
Oh, a nice one.
Oh, I didn't even know
I
that.
didn't know
I
that
had
either.
told you, Miss Peggy.
Oh, I wasn't listening.
mindful.
I wasn't
All right,
being
bye. Thank
mindful.
you. Bye. Thank
Okay,
you so
bye
much.
guys.
Bye.
Well, are we still talking?
I put the music on, but look, it's press
Oh.
play. It's not going.
That's okay. That's
So
fine.
there we are.
That's fine.
Okay, I'm gonna
Look
shut
at my
this.
little thing.
You
I
love
know.
the file. It's better than being a different kind of file.
A log of files. She's a lover of logs. Because her dad had a sawmill.
I think I could have worn your name tag and this thing.
Yes.
Yeah, well, you could do all, of
Yeah.
course we could all do
Yes.
multiple tags,
But this
so.
one is.
No, that's.
You wouldn't have stopped me. It would have been like zebras, bears. Where are we going with this?
Are you still recording?
Yes, but I'm gonna shut it off
Oh, okay.
now.
I don't trust her. No.
Bye.
Bye.